This is a shade structure build video. I wanted to keep my cars outside and keep them warm and dry, keep me warm and dry. I hope you enjoy it, but either way, leave a comment. Thanks.
Got a 2004 XC70 and I got to put 12-foot boards in here. Will it fit? I have one, and what I'm going to do is put the other one through the front window. Yeah, so I got my 12-footers in here, no problem. Just fold the seats down, move the stuff out of the way. Seats come down. They're supposed to, I think, fold mostly flat. Pretty good. And then they built like a 2x4 mirror thing here. So as long as that doesn't break off, I think I'm good. Check it out, the Swedish lumber truck. This is the view from inside. If you don't mind some boards, you can do it. Those are 12-footers. These are 10s. These are 8s.
I wanted to have a place outside that was covered from the sun and the rain. I also needed it to be very lightweight and easy to take down. And this is a story about that build. And it might be a little weird, but that's how I do it. And hopefully you enjoy it. I have the horizontal beams, well, they're 2x6s. And I have just a slight slope. I'm trying to figure out how to create a center board that everything will tie into in the middle. And I'm measuring if the tape measure would cooperate. I'm not quite sure I'm square, but that's okay. It's gonna work out. I'm doing a lot of measuring. The Corvair is just waiting for me. I got the saw out to cut the boards. This is the main centerpiece here. It's kind of nice having the Corvair because you just have that ramp. You can go right up and down, get you a little higher off the ground, just get up to that board. Keep making some fine-tuning adjustments on the wood. Cut 15 times, put in 1 time. Finally got it, so I'm putting in some large lag screws. So the main thing about this carport is that it needs to be temporary so that I could take it down at any time without spending too long to do it and with a short notice. I also wanted to make sure that it was large enough that I could get 2 vehicles in and out of the space without having a post in the way, so that I could have like the Corvair there and a car on the other side of it where that ladder is. So those were my design criteria. So that made it 20 feet by 20 feet to make that happen. Being that it needs to be temporary, I didn't want to use heavy boards, so I needed it to be lightweight. That also helped me build it myself, rather than having to need a couple people to move the wood around. Hopefully you like my hat and my fluorescent yellow-green headset for keeping my ears safe. They are high on the fashion list. No fashion design spared here. And I didn't want to bore you with too much of me walking around in circles for hours, so I cut some of it out. Hopefully made it a little bit more interesting. What can you gain from this? Well, I'm not sure. Why did I make this video? And I thought it might be interesting what anyone would think of this type of build. And well, that's about as far as I got on the thought process. I just put the camera up and started recording. So you can critique it all you want. I don't mind. Do put a comment down in the comment section. You can send me an email saying you really thought this was a video that shouldn't be on where it's being posted. And you can tell me all about how it's going to sag in the middle over time. You can tell me about whatever you want to say. It's all good. I appreciate the comments. My cat is always out there to help me. He hasn't quite figured out how to use hammers or screws. He does like to get in my way, and you can see there I got one person to help me for a minute. So I had to get more wood, or I moved wood around. I actually can't remember now. There's the cat again. He is not helping, but he is antagonizing me. Look at him walking around. I'm routing a little bit off this back vertical post because of the angle. It wasn't a flat cut, so I had to adjust it with a router. That was the easiest way for me to make it fit just right. Yep, there we go. Obviously it's a different day because I'm not wearing that hat anymore. I initially set out to do this in 2 days. And you know how that goes. 2 days equals 20. So I got these metal sheets off of the neighbor's roof. They were removing them, and I just had them slide them onto my area. But they have nail holes everywhere, and I had aluminum tape. So I put aluminum tape on all the holes, hoping that will keep the rain out enough to where these things won't leak. And then I just screwed each one down as I went out. Imagine how long this video would be if I didn't speed everything up. I wanted some sun, so I put one white plastic corrugated sheet in the middle. And oddly, they don't make them the same radius. They are more of a rectangular edge, and the metal is a rounded radius. So it took me a long time to get it fit.
So this is like the 4th day, probably the 7th day. Basically I've lost track of how many days it's been. I just know that it's taken a lot longer than 2, which is all I was hoping it would take. But definitely makes a difference. It's definitely cooler, and I do like the added half a day that it took me to get this single one here on. And for some reason the spacing is different from the metal ones, and so it made it awkward and more challenging. These 2 pieces of wood here and this one here, but it did seem to make everything a lot more rigid. It doesn't wiggle around as much, so that is really good. I did not paint it. It's 3 boards on the top surfaces, but that's okay. I did it so that I could take them apart pretty easily from down here. Well, I can't know because I did the roof. Okay, well, I take that back. They're stuck. We're going. We're doing this.
I'm just continuing to get all this sheet metal up on the roof. Get as far as I can with it. It takes a while getting all these holes filled in. I eventually went and used some, I think I had some roofing silicone or something that I was able to apply to it, and that helped speed things up. It's funny watching me walk around. It's like one of the Wallace and Gromit shows, but not quite as good. I think they walk better than I do. So I wasn't sure if I was going to cover all of this or leave one section of metal out, but I realized that the car next to where the Corvair is would not be covered at all from rain, and it wouldn't probably cover enough of the area to make it worth staying dry and staying cool. Here I'm just finishing the last section, and it was just short, so I had to double up on the outer one there. I painted the top sides of all the boards, and that was just to keep them protected from the top. I figured I would paint them later on the rest of it, just to keep things from because I use fir, it rots faster than redwood, and just figured that was the better way to go by painting. And here you can see underneath, everything is finished on the roof. The cat is still not helping. Here I put some lights up at night. You can see how it looks pretty good. This is actually before I finished the roof. Thanks for watching the video. Appreciate it a lot. If you liked it, leave a comment no matter what you think. And look forward to making more videos for you. I hope you like this Easter egg of Yosemite.